Several days later.
It's been a couple of days now since I last went to the exhibit and went and saw art. I've had a very busy week. I saw it on Tuesday and then I ended up working on Thursday, Friday. Had a party on Saturday. Now it's Sunday. I'm having a very lazy Sunday and I thought, why not film the outro and not make this one of your many abandoned creative projects? I realised a lot of things after attending this exhibit. I was firstly very amazed by the different forms of media that the artist Zeynep Sidra decided to use in her exhibit to reflect Algeria's very important role it played in the decolonisation of Africa. I particularly liked how she mimicked a lot of the settings that decolonisation conversations and revolutionary conversations would be happening, such as like the cafe table, the coffee tables and the cafe bar and whatever. What I really liked as well is how intentional the art was. Everything was placed, obviously, very intentionally. But after leaving this exhibition and having a few days to kind of think about it and also think about my own creative journey, I left the exhibit feeling very itchy for a creative project. I don't think itchy is an adequate word. It's kind of like, I don't know, you want to itch. It's just gross, but I mean, I was itching to kind of get into creativity again because I've always been a creative person. However, I never ever committed to a creative project because firstly, I am a very busy master's student. I did do an undergrad in, if you want to call it creative, which was a literature studies undergrad. I do miss it a lot. And this exhibit actually reminded me a lot of it because we did a Battle of Algiers on one of my decolonial modules. I really was missing like that space of creativity. As you can see, there are many books behind me. However, I have not read a book. Well, I did read a book. I finished a book a couple of weeks ago. However, I have not had a moment in reading for a very long time where I would finish a book and then read the next book and then read the next book and then read the next book. I have a very bad book buying habit, as we can see behind me, but I don't have a very good reading habit. I really wish I read more. I think I've read in a total of two books this year so far, which is kind of embarrassing to admit as a literature alumni. I just really struggle to read these days because I've just not been in a creative environment. Whereas, for example, like last year or the year before that, I would be surrounded by readers because literature students would be forced to read books. Or for example, I used to be someone who used to sketch a lot and like I have so many art books in my collection, but I just don't draw, I don't paint, I don't sketch, I don't do anything. I just like to rot. Which is not a great thing to admit on the internet. It's kind of embarrassing, but I feel like these days a lot of people are having that uncomfortable conversation about their screen time, doom scrolling, about brain rotting. But over the last I'd say couple of weeks, I've been really trying to get out more whenever I feel upset. That day on Tuesday, the morning wasn't going really well. And I was like, what can I do that I really enjoy? I don't want to read, I don't want to sketch, I just want to go out for a walk. And I was like, if I want to go out for a walk, why not go visit this exhibit that I've always been planning to visit? And I was like, it's free, let's go. So I got dressed up, went, and I even had a really great salad after. And a great cinnamon social from Ollenstein. I just think that whenever I end up in those moments of rot, if you want to call it, or sadness or upset or whatever, I really need to try and prioritize my hobbies and the things I enjoy because that's what fulfills me. I love the arts. I love culture. I love the arts because the arts reflect the human experience, other people's experiences. And that's why I've always loved the arts. However, when you're attached to something like a phone and the doom scrolling, sure, you will encounter a really great content creator and their work, but unfortunately most things that I consume are just slop, and because it's quick serotonin boost whenever I pick up that phone and have a good scroll, I am more comfortable doing that. And it disappoints me so much because I used to be such an avid reader. Right in front of me is this dusty old sketchbook that I've had for I would say, when was this, 2021, and I've not finished it. 2021 and I've not finished the sketchbook. That is what, 5 years? And sure, there are some shitty pieces of art in here, not great pieces of work, but I still was trying even then. And for example, this whole page of just sketches of the eye. I was watching a YouTube video and I was just watching and just copying the guy, and I used to feel so fulfilled after. And now I don't even do that. I was still doom scroll back then, but I would not have these support systems. And just picking up the camera and going to this exhibit, I feel like really made me realize how important it is to have hobbies, number one, but also how much I've missed out. I've been so consumed in going at a fast pace rather than slowing down and letting myself sit, just literally sit and observe. And I do miss that, and I do miss engaging with slowing down. I feel like because social media, doom scrolling, whatever you want to call it, are very quick forms of entertainment, that's why we reach for them. And I did try a week of de-rotting my brain, but yeah, I just felt like going to this exhibit was very rewarding in the sense that I finally realised how important going to galleries and physically being in the same space as admirable pieces of work feeds my soul. I know it sounds so corny and cringe, but there's a reason why artists and culture have existed for so long. Everything we do is creative in a way. Do you know what I mean? Creativity is so important to me personally. It's gotten me out of so many ruts in my life, and unfortunately, as I've gotten older, as I've become and settled into my adult years, I've just not been creative. I don't know what it is, like as a culture, as a society, when we get older, we're not allowed to be childish in a way, and I feel like creativity is only limited to the artists and not like people who have a normal day-to-day job or a student like myself. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? I feel like I'm going nowhere with this, but I just feel like culturally or socially, like, we're not allowed to be creative. We're not allowed to have passions in creativity and other stuff without being forced to kind of monetize it, or because obviously we live in an shit economy. I didn't want to link it back to capitalism, but it kind of goes back to extreme forms of capitalism. Yeah, I had to link it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, or this little, I don't know if I should call it a video. I mean, it is a video, but I'm so sorry about this siren, man. I just wanted to get this video out because I wanted to firstly create, but secondly, I also wanted to ruminate. Is that the right word? To think about creativity and what it takes to be a creative person and how simple it is to be a creative person. You do not need to have expensive cameras and great skills to be creative. You can just be creative in the little things, and that's what I really enjoy about making videos, is that it's my vision. It's no one else's vision. I really hope to expand on this vision one day and make something out of it without feeling the pressure getting stuff out, if that makes sense. Like, I need to chase the grind and all of that. No, I don't want to chase the grind in my passion projects. I want to just sit and observe and create, and that's all I want to do. I don't really know how to end these videos, man. So I'll probably see you next time. Oh, I don't want you guys to see my eyebrows. I kind of messed them up, so bye.